Me again. I'm back and I am excited to continue with this study. We left off speaking about Hillel ben Shachar. Hillel is the word for shining one, and Shachar is translated in my JPS Tanakh scriptures as dawn with a capital D. And there's a footnote that says that dawn was some character in a forgotten myth. So we will leave it at that. But let's continue on with this Hillel. We know that he was a giant killer because it spoke about the Rephaim who and the leaders, the great leaders of the earth, whom he had sent to Sheol, who are going to stand over him and say, "Oh, wow, look at you! You thought you were better than us. You sent us here, and now you're here with us." It's kind of like you know, police officers who put a lot of people in jail and then do something and end up in jail. That's not a, that's not a pretty picture, is it? That not for that officer. So it's definitely not going to be a pretty picture for this guy to be there with all those that he sent there. Wow. Okay, in verse 13, once you thought in your heart, I will climb to the sky, higher than the stars of God, I will set my throne. Now let me ask you a question. Who said that? Where did we hear that? Something similar. Where have we heard that before? Remember, Solomon says there's nothing new under the sun. What is what was, and what will be. And man has always been trying after the fall, since the fall, man has been trying to become gods, or even before the fall, because that's why Eve ate the fruit of the tree of knowledge of good and evil, right? So where do we see this happening? We see this happening not too long after the flood. In Genesis chapter 11, we see where we have a group of people who decided that they're not going to scatter and spread across the earth. They're going to stay in one place, and they're going to build something whose top reaches into heaven. So we see Genesis chapter 11, verse 4. Well, let's start from verse 11. Verse 1, I mean. Everyone on earth had the same language and the same words. And as they migrated from the east, they came upon a valley in the land of Shinar, and settled there. They said to one another, "Come, let us make bricks and burn them hard." Bricks served them as stone, and bitumen served them as mortar. And they said, "Come, let us build us a city and a tower with its top in the sky, to make a name for ourselves, else we shall be scattered all over the world." The Lord came down to look at the city and tower that man had built, and the Lord said, "If as one people with one language for all, this is how they have begun to act, then nothing that they may propose to do will be out of their reach. Let us then go down and confound their speech there, so that they shall not understand one another's speech." Okay, where you have it. There we have it. There we see it happening. You know, this is exactly what was happening when this character is saying, I will climb to the sky." How? Climb to the sky how? By means of building a tower, right? Higher than the stars of God. And the stars of God refers to the angels, right? Angelic beings. I will set higher than the stars of God, I will set my throne. So he wanted to be over the angels, even higher than the angels. Wow. So once again, We see that happening in Genesis chapter 11, where you have a group of people that came together and decided that they're going to build this tower. But who was the leader of these people? Right? The leader of these people, who was he? We see that in Genesis chapter 10. In Genesis chapter 10, starting from verse 8, it says, Cush also begot Nimrod, who was the first man of might on the earth. He was a mighty hunter by the grace of the Lord, hence the saying, like Nimrod, a mighty hunter by the grace of the Lord. The mainstays of his kingdom were Babylon, Erech, Akkad, and Calneh in the land of Shinar. From that land Asher went forth and built Nineveh, Rehoboth, Ir, Kala, and Rezin between Nineveh and Kala, that is the great city. So there you have it. Who is the king of Babylon? Nimrod. Nimrod is the king of Babylon. And it's right there in the scripture. He gave birth, so to speak, to those places like Assyria. And the capital of Assyria is Nineveh. And they were cruel. They were cruel people. These people were cruel beyond words.